Hello everybody, Jan of Jan Hicks Creates here, coming at you a little flustered, quite hot, and just a tad frustrated. But what's new over these past couple weeks, right? Let's see. If I don't even know if I'm straight. Am I straight? Here, I'm gonna mess with you a little bit more. All right. If you haven't been watching my Operation Waiting for Orders videos, you don't know the latest. I would say go there and watch them. I'm just going to give you a quick and dirty rundown here. We're still waiting. Yeah, I would say things have gone from bad to worse, except I don't want to portray it as that bad because we don't really know. We had thought we were making progress, I guess Friday? I don't know. It all blends together at this point. A week ago Friday? I don't know. We thought that the nomination order for Mike, that the SPF fiasco was finally over, that the nomination orders had made it out here, and the actual PCS process could start. Mike got paperwork to fill out. We were feeling pretty good. Then he found out this week that, oh, no, that was a mistake. That nomination statement should never have come out here. They actually haven't even reviewed the SPF yet. They haven't approved the PCS yet. Which, and HR back at Fort Meade in Maryland has the final say for the PCS. Now, we kind of knew that, but we didn't think it was that serious, if I could put it that way. And it may not be, but the email that somebody up his chain got was kind of like, hey, you guys just need to hold your horses. We have the final say. We are the ones that have to allocate the money. And so he just needs to calm down, basically. If he has sick parents, take sick leave and go take care of them. So, of course, it's a bigger issue than that. There is more justification than that. There are other things going on. We are still hopeful that, Mike knows several people that have curtailed, and their PCS has gone through eventually for one person in particular. But it's not like HR usually says no to these. So we are still hopeful that by the end of the week we will know something. But at this point, we're still waiting. And I decided last week, totally spur of the moment, that in order to help the waiting be a little less painful, I was going to start a new project every day. Mike is homesick. Sick of everything pretty much, but also coughing, not coronavirus coughing, we don't think, hopefully. I guess we could say he's self-quarantining, but basically he's just fed up. And so he's staying home today to get a little R&R. But anyways, yeah, so I'm on this Operation Waiting for Orders. Every day I'm doing a stitch with me, doing a new start until we get orders. I'm hoping, quite frankly, that it's not too long, but I'm having fun in the meantime, and I've started some fun things, so I have all that to show you today. I have my normal whips to show you today. I have some great haul to show you, some really fun things, some gifts, and a shop update. And I'm going to do a giveaway. I'm going to do a Waiting for Orders giveaway for you guys. So, yeah, let's forge on ahead. So one of the things that I pulled out to kind of cheer me up last week, before I decided to do the whole starting a new thing every day, was my Santa Fe decor piece. Now this is one of my full coverage from one of my photos. For those of you that are new, didn't think to pull up a photo. Hold on. So this is a photo. Sorry for the glare. I do have the blinds open downstairs. This is a photo that I took while we were visiting Santa Fe of just a little shop with all these kind of wooden knickknacks in it. I had started this a couple months ago. I am working in this upper corner where there's this kind of jeweled, colorful box. And so I decided to pull this back out. And I wouldn't say that it necessarily made me feel any better because the area I'm on has so much confetti. It was kind of frustrating. But that's where I am. I'm kind of working cross country across a diagonal. So that's what you're seeing here. I got probably half of a diagonal done here. It was fun to touch it again. It didn't necessarily relieve my stress because of all the confetti, but I do love it when I look at the picture. So I just worked on that one evening. The other one, Bloomtopia, release 3 came out on March 3rd. So that is this quilt square and this little basket. If you haven't joined in on this yet, I highly recommend it. It is a charity stitch along. It is not a mystery. The charity is the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Central and South Texas. So like I said, release 3 came out on March 1st. The releases are coming out every 2 weeks. They are all just these little chunks. So not any big intense stitching, something that would be easy for you to catch up on. I am stitching this on a 32 count Witchelt. Color is Water Lily. It is charted in DMC and RF cotton floss. I changed everything to Weeks Dye Works. And I do have a post on my blog of all the colors that I'm using. So this is just, it's a nice, easy, sweet little piece that, it's a nice break from everything else that I'm doing. So I will have linked below my blog post which has links for all the stuff that I'm using. I got it all from Fat Quarter Shop, and they are the sponsors and the hosts of this stitch along. So if you're interested in joining me, check that out. Like I said, everything will be linked below. I am also continuing to work here and there, not so much since I started Operation Waiting for Orders, on the Time for Season stitch along. I am still working along on Autumn, which is this side over here. I have most of the top half done. Still a good chunk to go, and then all of the bottom half of Autumn. March 15th, this first half of Spring, which is over on this side, is coming out. I probably won't be caught up. That's okay. I am working on it slowly but surely, here and there. When we do get orders, we will be going as quickly as possible on our house hunting trip to San Antonio. And this is all I'm going to take with me so that I can concentrate on it. So this is Autumn. The top half ends about here. So I have a good chunk of this grass still to do and the little houses to put in. I do have a pond though. Isn't that pond cute? I actually haven't even pulled out the colors yet. These open spaces are all the leaves on the trees. Bright autumn colors. I haven't even pulled those out yet. It'll get done. It'll get done. All right, Jane Marshall. Finished the bottom band. I am using Mrs. Seda silks on these. So I finished the bottom band of that. And again, I have a color conversion page on my blog. You can check that out, or on my website, you can check that out to see what colors I'm using. And I started the next band, which has the vine with the leaves and the flowers on it. I had been working on this about an hour a day, but again, this is kind of fallen a bit to the wayside with Operation Waiting for Orders. All right, those were my whips. Now, Operation Waiting for Orders. So today was day 5. Now, to clarify, this process started on December 10th. So as of March 10th, it'll actually be 3 months. But since I just decided last week to do this, a new start every day, we're only on day 5 of that. So The first one I started with is the Dorothy Allen sampler. This is an R&R reproduction sampler. My understanding is this is one of their first, and this was a class piece. Now, I did not start this. This came in a stack of fabric that a generous follower gifted to me, and she had these first 2 lines of the alphabet done. So I had still had this fabric just sitting in my stack of fabric, and every time I looked through my stack, I would, looking for something else, I would see it and say, oh, I really should pick that up. It's just a tiny little thing. I really should pick that up. So day 1 was when I picked it up. So I finished this top row of stitches. This is a specialty stitch called long-armed cross. I did this is a herringbone stitch here. I did this brown row in between, that's also long-armed cross, and then I worked on that row of alphabets. This in Jane Marshall, I would like to, once the insanity's over of my waiting for orders, once things start moving forward, I'm going to work as consistently as possible on Jane Marshall and on this, since they are such small pieces. I really would like to get them done, get them framed when I'm in San Antonio, and get them hung on the wall of our new home. That's the plan. So that was day 1. Day 2 is a French designer, Isabelle Vautier, and I believe this translates to On the Road to India, or maybe just The Road to India. I've had this probably for a year. As you know, I love all things India. And so as soon as I saw this, I had to get this. Now, I do believe I got this from a website called Casa Sanina, an Italian website. It quickly went out of stock there. I thought it was out of print, but one of my followers on Instagram did find it on a French site, and I will link to it below in my description. I told you guys the other day that I thought it was out of print and unavailable, but somebody did find it. Now, several people have asked about it. It may go out of stock again, but hopefully with the activity on it, they will make it available again. The quote here is from Mahatma Gandhi. It is one step at a time is enough for me. So that is a quote from his salt march from the coast to Delhi. This printing down here is actually Sanskrit. I do not know what that says. I'm going to either put the English in here or try and translate it to Hindi. I don't think I can chart it in the Hindi script. I think that's too small. But I'll translate it to English and hopefully I can make it work. So, start of that, I am stitching this on a piece of 40 count linen that I got at StitchCon last year. This is Color and Cotton. It is a limited edition fabric that they did for, she did for StitchCon. So it's kind of a purpley, grayy, beautifully modeled piece of fabric. I am using a filament silk that was dyed by a wonderful woman in Malaysia who I have become friends with. Thank you, Diane. It is gorgeous and it stitches up beautifully. As far as I know, she just does this for herself. But that is what I have done so far. So that was a day's work, and I'm just working on these a day at a time. So I got the little paisley done, ABC, and then part of this tree done, and this little motif with the heart and crown right here. So that will get put away. You know, Dorothy Allen I'm going to try and keep working on so I can get it done, but this is going to get put away. That's a bigger project than I want to take on full time right now, for obvious reasons. Day 3. A Thankful Life Chair Arm Pin Keep by Heartstring Samplery. This is new from in 2019. And I just want to have this for on my chair. I think this is going to be a perfect little place so that my scissors aren't laying around and sliding around, and I can keep my needles in there, and just a pretty piece. So I did start this. The pattern does call for 32 count linen. I am using a 32 count. I'm using this very rustic piece of linen. Again, part of the stack of fabric that I got from the dear woman who gifted it to me. So I got the bottom or top, because it can go either way, right? Border done, and I got a good chunk of the basket done. So that is this border here and this basket here. It is separated by what I believe is a pin cushion. This is another one that I'm going to keep with and get done because I really want to put it to use. And I like the fact that I'm using this kind of chunkier linen because I think it's going to be kind of wear better on the arm of the chair. It's going to have cats tramping over it and stuff laying on it, and it is definitely a more rustic linen. There are some bigger slubs. I love the dye job on it. It is gorgeous. There are some bigger slubs in it that I've had to kind of mess with. If you are interested in knowing how to work with a linen that has the bigger slubs, I did talk about that quite a bit as I was showing it in my day 4 video. So when I was showing it yesterday, my next start was yesterday. This was from the day before, but I talked about how I was dealing with the bigger, let me find one to show you. I've cut a bunch of them off. But when I come across something like this, where'd it go? Something like this that's really kind of sticking up from the fabric. Do you see that? There. I talked about what I did with it, how I deal with that. So if you're interested in that, you can see that on my day 4 operation waiting for orders video. So this one I do hope to keep going and get done. I also wanted to say, just a total non sequitur, I wanted to talk about this thing on my nose. You've probably seen it in several videos and thought, Jan, what's going on? I had a little bit of a precancerous thing there that was, the dermatologist kind of froze off, so excuse my little kind of scabby appearance here. All right, so day 4. I started this one, Seasonal Sun Sign by Ink Circles. You remember when I got this and I showed it to you, just absolutely love the concept behind it, love the colors, love the design, was thrilled to start it. I am stitching it on a 25 count even weave over 1. The colors are just DMC, and so that's what I got done yesterday. Love, love, love. And you know, I did stitch quite a bit yesterday, but I got a good chunk done. So this one wouldn't take an overly long amount of time to get done. You know, I got about half of one of the little blocks done. Of course, there's still the whole border to do, but this will get put away as well. This morning, because our theme here is hope, right? Promise of spring. We are hoping beyond words that this all falls together. Love the colors, love the robin. I wanted to keep this as true to the colors as possible because it's just stunning. Just love this. But I also wanted to kind of stitch from stash as much as possible. The fabric is a 27 count blue tile Linda. So this is a 36 count Dove I think is Dove linen from Weeks. So I didn't have that, but I am sticking with the blue background. I am stitching this over 1. As always, quite a theme for me. And I am starting with the word hope. I pulled from my stash. I do not have pretty much any of these colors. I think I might have one of them. I pulled from my stash some Victorian Motto for the gray and Hope, and a different yellow. It's charted in Weeks Dye Works. So I pulled a different yellow for the yellow and Hope. I am going to go ahead and get the Weeks Dye Works floss for the rest of it. I don't know when I'm going to get it, because after today I'm going to do the word Hope, and then this is going to get put away. All right, so that's all I've started. I do have tomorrow's planned out. Tomorrow's start is a chart from a magazine from, I just read this a little while ago, I should remember. Autumn 1997, the Needleworker magazine from autumn 1997. And it is this bell pull that goes through the seasons. So an apple tree blossoms, little baby green apples, autumn, winter. Actually, if it was winter, it'd be bare. But just gorgeous. I've had this probably since 1997. So this is what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm going to pull something from my stash, or from my haul, to show you. Jumping ahead just a tad. I got this fabric, and I will talk about why I got it in a second. This is Tyco 40 count, and that is what I will be doing this on. And it's all DMC. So, cannot wait. 40 count for this pattern. I'm going to need a piece that is, I think it was 28 by 8, maybe? I don't remember. This piece is 26 by 35, so I have more than enough here. I got it for a different big project that I will talk about in a second. So, I have things planned out kind of through the rest of the week. New starts for the rest of the week, assuming that this is going to last the rest of the week. So, this is one of them. This is called Through the Storms. And I thought this was an appropriate one for what Mike and I are going through at this point. Not a storm in our relationship by any stretch of the imagination. If anything, this kind of thing brings us closer together. But certainly a storm in just what life hands us sometimes, right? Center Point sampler. The sampler house. Saw this sample at the attic when I was there the last time, or 2 times ago. I don't remember. Maybe the last time. Had to get it. I will be stitching this over one. I think they had it over one, or on, you know, one of the really high count fabrics. I'll do it over one on a cream. Gorgeous. This is done in silk, but it's also charted in DMC. It's charted in NPI and DMC. I'll probably pull the DMC. This one, I found this at Fiddlesticks 2 here when I first came here. This is La Di Da's Big Flower, a Big Flower sampler. Love those flowers. Would love to get started on that. This is charted in Gentle Arts threads. I probably have a bunch of these, and what I don't have, I will substitute. Okay, yeah, that's what I have picked. Now, I also pulled this one out. This one, Sue Morelli and I had been planning on doing it as a stitch along. What did we say, Sue? A year ago? Fall a year ago? I don't know. We're going to start it together on March 20th. That is the Frugal Quaker retreat up in New England that she will be going to, and she will be starting it there, and I will start it with her. March 20th, I don't know where I'll be or what I'll be doing, but I will make sure I have what I need for this. This is charted. Oh, this is the wool one. That's right. I need to get those wools. That'll be fun. Okay. Now, because that's not enough. I have a birthday coming up this month, and I had been planning before I started all this Operation Waiting for Orders madness. Oh wait, I do have one more new start. Forgot. Samsara Designs. I Will Always Be a Wildflower. Isn't that sweet? I've pulled the floss for that. None of it's what's called for. I didn't like some of her colors. I pulled a lot from the new Kindred Stitcher pack that I got from Victorian Motto, so that's what those are. And then I changed up some just for things that I thought worked better for my taste. So this is the floss. I have not picked fabric yet. I don't know which day I'm going to start this, but I got it in my head that I wanted to play with floss, so I did. Oops. Again, I don't know what day any of these, I kind of like, before I start the video for the day, I decide, what do I feel like starting tomorrow? And then pull the stuff for it. But, birthday. So before I started this madness, I knew I was going to do some birthday starts. Excuse me. And one of my birthday starts was supposed to be, I'm looking around because now I think I lost something again. No, I didn't. One of my birthday starts was supposed to be Balmy Spring, a Balmy Spring Day, the Haid, the Heaven and Earth Designs one that Carolyn was starting with me. Her birthday is also this month. The plan was I would get back to the mainland where I would have access to Joann's, and whenever they had some kind of sale, either one of their floss sales or one of their coupons, you know, for whatever % off a total purchase, I would go ahead and get the floss I needed from Joann's. Get the fabric I need from 123 Stitch, that's easy. Of course, now that started in March, I think we were planning on starting on the first day of spring at the end of March. Well, so much for that. So we've postponed that. Carolyn, what did we say? I don't know. I'm glad I have you to keep track of things for me because anyways, we're starting that in a month or so. Once I get established, or at least my feet on the mainland again, we'll start worrying about that. But I am still going to start some other things. So first and foremost, this one by Samplers Not Forgotten. BG 1854, or sorry, 1874. Excuse me. Love, 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 love. So the big pieces of fabric, I got a couple of them from 123 Stitch, 40 count, because I wasn't sure. Of course, looking online, you don't really sure, you know, what things look like. She used 36 count buttercream by Lakeside. 123 Stitch has very little Lakeside. So I decided I wanted 40 count. So I got the Tyco, and I got Weeks Dye Works linen. And the linen is the winner. It's just a really, really soft, creamy brown, just a touch of brown with the cream. And it's going to be just gorgeous for this. Right? Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now, I do have a few of the silks, called for silks. I already got those a little while ago. The rest of the silks I'm going to pull from Mrs. Sadus and use that. And I have not pulled those yet. But that's one of my birthday starts. The other birthday start is Serenity. Do you remember that one? Let me see if I have it handy here to show you a picture. So this is the one by Northern Expressions Needlework. Remember this one? I have the aqua floss, the aqua fabric, the beads. This is a birthday start. So I am using Mrs. Sada's Peacock. This gorgeous fabric that was a gift from, or that I guess I bought it from Maria at the Stitch Niche. This is, the tag's here, Caribbean, 28 count Caribbean blue. Doesn't have the dyer. Maria, do you remember who the dyer is? So this, with this, and these. Remember the angels were singing? Do you remember that? Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So, birthday start number 2. And that's all. We're not doing 56 birthday starts. Carolyn, this is all. Okay. So that's the plans. That's the whips. That's the new starts. Now, haul and gifts and a little tiny shop update and a giveaway. Stick around. I make you wait till the end so you watch the whole thing. I know you can fast forward, and that's fine. So, I got together with the wonderful ladies here on the island. We went out to a movie and dinner on Saturday. Lovely. I'm gonna miss these ladies. They are sweethearts, fun, funny. We just have such a good time. Serena made me, look at that. Pretty, pretty. She knows me. Look at the colors. Turquoise, gray, beautiful. So project bag, a coordinating mini bag, and coordinating grime guards. Serena says she likes things matchy-matchy. I think she hit it out of the park. How pretty is that? Serena, thank you. I need to just give you my fabric and let you make some project bags for me because they're just not getting done sitting here. I know, I should just try it. So that, and then also a couple charts. I actually already have this one, so this will be a giveaway at some point. And then look at that sea turtle. Oh no. So, awesome. Thank you. You didn't have to, but I appreciate it. In addition to the fabric, so that all came from 123 Stitch. I also got a chart with needle and thread. Samplers not forgotten. I do like their stuff. So this is one that you don't see stitched as often. I think it is so pretty. So, love that. Let's see. Things sliding all over the place here. Here, let's put that up there. Next, Carolyn. She's a sweetheart. Look how pretty that card is. Turquoise, aqua, and what's cool is these little things come out. I don't know whether they're supposed to or not. This one's kind of more glued in. It will be coming out and it will get stuck on something. How pretty. I actually want to take this whole cupcake off of here and stick it on something with a lovely note inside. This was a birthday gift. So Anniversaries of the Heart Pattern 3, A Wish for You. Blackbird Designs with some of the floss for it. Thank you. I don't think have I started collecting any of the Anniversaries of the Heart? I don't remember. Which probably says something, right? Let's see. Bring these down here. Next, the silver needle, a little help from our friend Stitching Circle. The next installment is called The Friendship Tree from Teresa Vanette, Shakespeare's Peddler. That came a few weeks ago. There's a better picture of it. 2 ladies and a cat. Woohoo! Friendship. So that comes with the fabric, the floss, the finishing chenille, And this is actually a special little, this is the goodie this month. This is a glasses cleaning cloth that has, I actually haven't taken that out. It's from, oh shoot. Let's see, it was made by, hold on. By Vicky from Needlework Press, and they are exclusive to the shop. But look at this. It has the little tree on it. How sweet is that? That is so cool. So I recommend if you're not a member of any of these clubs, join one. It's really fun to get these in the mail every month. All right, next we have a piece of fabric. This is 36 count from Fortnite Fabrics. I just got a little piece. I wanted to give them a try. So this is what, 9 by, what? No, 13 by 17. No, 9 by 13, I don't know. It's the little one. Really pretty brownie cream fabric though. Just a nice neutral, pretty modeling. Fortnite Fabrics, they have a Facebook group where every other Sunday, I believe, they do an auction for their fabrics. So they put up the fabric and then they say what the starting bid is, and you just, you know, do a $1 increase in bid until there's a certain time limit. So whoever the last person was wins the auction. Okay, last but not least, Bloomtopia. That's So Kelly Co. Just a wonderful convergence. So Kelly decided when Bloomtopia first was talked about that she was going to participate in the fundraiser, and she made some Bitsy Bobs. She made 10 of them. They sold out like instantly, and she made one for me and sent it to me, and it said delivered, but didn't get delivered to my mailbox. Now the problem was it didn't have the apartment number in the address. So it got delivered somewhere here. Somebody else in this complex got to experience a Bitsy Bob. They're probably like, what is this? But they didn't put it back in their mailbox. They didn't return to sender. The regular mailman must not have been working that day, because he knows me well enough at this point that he would have just, you know, written on it, forgot apartment, and stuck it in the right box. So it went astray. Kelly, in her generosity, made another one and sent it to me. And she included a Bitsy Bob cutie with it. So these are Bloomtopia fabrics. These are Fat Quarter Shop fabrics that coordinate with the Bloomtopia quilt along, stitch along. This one is for one of you. So again, I'm going to put that over here, talk about the giveaway at the end. Real quick, just for those of you that have bought Narnia, there is a stitch error in it. So, get this up here. And I think I might have worked a little bit on this since I talked to you last, because it has been a couple weeks since I've done a Flosstube. But this is what mine is looking like so far. I haven't worked on it this week at all. But in here, like these places where there's the kind of triangle of stitches, there's a stitch. One of these has a stitch filled in that shouldn't be there. And where it is on whenever it's 10, the line 10 coming over here and 30 coming down where those meet, you'll see that there's 3 stitches in a row where there should be an empty stitch in there. So for those of you that bought that, just be aware of it. If you've already stitched it, you know, stitched it as written, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. I will be correcting that and uploading a new PDF though at some point today. The other thing shop related that I'm working on is Floral Medley number 2. I don't have this fully charted, I just have the top half of it charted, so I decided to start stitching it just to see how things are blending. I know it looks really weird right now, so I need to be working on that a little bit more as well. That's probably not going to get done till next week. There's a lot more work that needs to be done on it, but I wanted to start stitching on it to see whether the colors are blending right together. And I didn't even worry about the size of the fabric, whether it'll fit the whole design. I just picked something up and started stitching. So, all right, giveaway. We're gonna call this Operation Waiting for Orders giveaway, or Jan's birthday giveaway, March Madness giveaway. Take your pick. I don't care what we call it. But I do want to send out some gifts. It's been a while, for all of you wonderful people that stick with me and cheer me on and lift me up. I do appreciate you. So, first, I want to tell you about this bag set. This is another Fat Quarter Shop offering. It is these mesh bags. They sent me 2 packs of 3, so these come as 3 packs, so 3 different sizes in 1 pack. I am splitting this up to offer, so I have 3 different winners. So here's what we have. We have the small one, and along with the small one comes the Bitsy Bob Cutie and the Thread Keep. If you are interested in this one, say small mesh bag. Remember, don't say giveaway, don't say contest, must be 18 or older. You know all the rules. Medium-sized bag, say medium-sized bag along with that. And these bags, I've been using actually I have a couple of them in use right now. They're see-through, so that's kind of cool. They also have a gusset on the bottom, so they open up and sit. You can't see it sitting, but it does. So they're great. They kind of look kind of strange, I think, on the camera, but it is see-through. So along with the medium-sized bag, I have this chart. It's from Sheepish Designs. It's called Circling Angels 96th Exemplary. So I don't know whether you can see that, but you can see the little angels and a Quaker, kind of Quakerish designs in between. So I would like the medium-sized bag. And then we have the large one. And it is big, right? I don't know measurements, but it is big, you can see. And with that one, we have this chart by the sampler company, Brenda Keys, right? And it has 4 different charts in it. Very interesting samplers, small ones. So I'm interested, or I would like the big mesh bag. Again, don't say giveaway, all that stuff. All right, I think that is finally it. Except, as always, we end with an angel card. Again, Teresa Kogut's Angels, her angel card pack, angel kindness cards. Let's see what this says on the, I can't read it without my glasses. My glasses are buried under stuff. Hold on. On the front it says, love is patient, love is kind, 1 Corinthians. Live by faith, not by fear. Know in your heart and soul that God gave you the ability and courage to carry out great plans. What do you think? Is it always appropriate or what? It's always appropriate, isn't it? All right, guys, that is all for today. Oh boy, next week's is really nice. I don't know whether next week's will be next week or the week after. Part of me is thinking I might start doing these every 2 weeks. until we get moved and settled. I don't know. Like I said, I'm doing a stitch with me every day until we get orders. So I will be around. Basics of Cross Stitch series is over. Put up the last one yesterday. I'm so glad so many of you found it helpful. That is all the payment I need. Yeah, so I don't know what the future holds, which is pretty much true of all of us, right? So until whenever, have a fantastic day, have a fantastic week, and I will talk to you soon.